Let's discuss further with Ellie Jacobs. He's a partner in the Truman National Security Project. Also with us, Tom Borelli. Tom is a contributor to America's Voice News. All right, Tom, let's start with you because the transcript released showed that there was no quid pro quo made here. We heard from the Ukrainian president. He said he didn't feel obligated to do anything. He said the phone call seemed perfectly normal to him. And now it seems that the Democrats are going with this cover-up agenda, keeping in mind that they decided to go ahead with the impeachment before they even knew what was exactly in this phone call. Do you get the sense that they're shifting the goalposts because they realize that the initial call, that there was nothing there?
That's a good point, Michelle, and I think actually they're surprised because President Trump released the transcript of the conversation between him and the president of Ukraine, and there was no there. There was no pressure. Biden's name wasn't mentioned 8 times like the news reports had said, and there certainly wasn't any quid pro quo. There's no dangling, if you do this, I'll do that. So again, you have to just go back from the start. The Democrats from the very beginning of the Trump administration will do everything and anything to undermine the president, to try to undo the results of the 2016 election. They didn't do anything with Russia collusion. That was a big drop, a big fumble, using the football analogy. And now they're trying another avenue. Speaker Pelosi, she had to rush to judgment. She was calling for impeachment hearings even before the transcript came out.
Well, speaking of rushing to judgment, Elliot, did the Democrats do that? Because Ken Starr certainly seems to think that they did. He was, of course, reminded the special counsel during the Bill Clinton investigations. He says there's no crimes here that amount to impeachment, no high crimes or misdemeanors. Why do you think Pelosi rushed to make this move?
I don't think she rushed. I think
without seeing the transcript of the phone call.
She's essentially waited 3 years for this. If the Democrats were biting at the bit from the
so
word
it was
go,
about anything. Let's impeach him for anything.
That's the same way that the Republicans treated President Obama and the Republicans treated President.
Well, the Republicans didn't impeach
President Clinton and the Democrats were treated President Bush. This is called politics. You always go against. They didn't try impeachment.
They didn't try impeachment.
They didn't try impeachment. They're still not trying impeachment. There are no articles that have.
Look what they did to Kavanaugh.
But look,
they didn't do that to Sotomayor or any other Democrats.
They're looking at impeachment, all right? That's what they've done here. Now, there wasn't anything substantial to go on. Now, granted, there's been a general push for this from the left of the party. Is that what happened here? Is Pelosi succumbing to the far left of the party? Is she cracking under that pressure?
I don't think it's the far left any longer. I think for a long time it was. I think we saw that distinctly from the far left, that that's what they were doing. People in seats that are R+30 that are never going to be challenged. I think what's changed over the last couple of weeks, and particularly this week with the op-ed in the New York Times, in the Washington Post Monday night, by 7 members who are in swing districts, 3 of which were former members of the Intelligence Committee or the military, coming out and saying this is a real problem. We need to up the game. We need to up the game. We need to up the ante. We need to make sure we see everything about this current accusation before we can make a decision.
The president released everything, Tom. The president has been fully transparent. They've released everything. We heard from Maguire today. If the Democrats do go ahead with this push for impeachment, how do you think it plays out?
I sure hope that the Democrats do go for the impeachment because it's going to blow up exactly in their face. The economy is doing fantastic. People employed, wages are going up. Wages are going up for those in the lower part of the scale there. I think it's going to be a disaster for Democrats. Nancy Pelosi really isn't its speaker. It's Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
All right.
She's running the agenda.
Well, there's a case to be made for that. Look, the president made some comments about this today. Let's listen.
And I have to put up with Adam Schiff on an absolutely perfect phone call to the new president of Ukraine. That was a perfect call. But Adam Schiff doesn't talk about Joe Biden and his son walking away with millions of dollars from Ukraine and then millions of dollars from China.
Ellie, to have credibility, shouldn't the Democrats look at Joe Biden here?
Sure. The media has been looking at it for months and they haven't found anything. Democrats haven't found anything. Joe Biden doesn't have millions of dollars, and Hunter Biden certainly doesn't have millions of dollars. In China, that's a new thing that I hadn't heard before. So good for President Trump that he's just tossing new things in.
They have gotten money. They just haven't really found out the explanation for it. But Ellie, what does this mean for Biden's campaign? Is this problematic?
It's as problematic as anything is for anybody's campaign. I think the Joe Biden campaign up until in this week has done everything that they can to continue the campaign and continue to push back on Donald Trump. I think that they learned the lessons of not fighting back immediately that Hillary Clinton didn't learn in 2016 and John Kerry didn't learn in 2004.
All right. Tom, 10 seconds, final word.
I think former Vice President Biden's campaign's in big trouble. Elizabeth Warren's going to take the lead.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom Borelli, Ellie Jacobs. Appreciate it.